Hey guys, I will be discussing with you today about resumes. That is what my webinar will be about. I will get it up and running shortly here. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen with you so all of you can go ahead and see it. All right, so let's go ahead and make that full screen and I'll go ahead and start. So what we'll want to go ahead and do for those of you who haven't started your resumes, I would highly recommend doing so. It's a great way to get out there and start applying to new jobs, and the best way to do so is by having a stellar resume. That's the first thing people look at. And going into human resources, that's one of the things that I'll be looking at. So if you have Word on your laptop, they offer resume templates. So if you want to go ahead and type that in when you're thinking about creating one, they offer many different types. The one I personally recommend would be this one here. For beginners, this is fairly great. It automatically pulls everything up. It has my first and last name on there. You can just go ahead and start typing in all your skills and everything that you have. Education, high school, a good example here, I have mine to show you. What you pretty much want to have covered would be where your address, the vital information, how to contact you, whether it's through email or phone call. It's best to have your cell phone on there because some people do call just to do a phone interview, though they will reach you by email first. Another great way would be through a career objective. Mine says seeking a varied role that will allow me to consolidate both my education and professional background, expand my knowledge, and provide opportunities for personal and professional growth. So that's something that I would recommend having. It's showing that you're open to new opportunities. You're not specifically narrowing it down. You're saying that you have an educational background that I do in human resources. I'm looking for something that will help me gain experience, something in the specific field that I'm going into. Another thing, your skills. This is something that's a must. I would highly recommend putting your skills at the very top. As human resources, I've taken a class with Marla and she had us go through our resumes, and I personally decided to keep mine in bullet points because I feel like it's a lot neater, it's a lot cleaner. They're going to go ahead and look at it and say, okay, this is what she has. Boom, boom, boom. I have skills in Microsoft Word, Excel, Publisher, phone etiquette, multi-line phone system, community outreach, creating memos, creating timesheets. I'm fluent in Spanish. I have excellent filing skills. I have intermediate typing skills, and I have had 6 years of customer service. And then you're going to want to have your experience. So what I would recommend would put your current job and your past job. Depending on the job application that you're going towards, I know I helped out my brother create his. I have his to pull up if you want to look at it here. It'll just be one moment, but his is right here. And as you can see, I put the same career objective down for him, but he was applying for the Milwaukee Bucks as event coordinator, and it was a requirement to have to know your sports system, and that's something he's fluent in, so that's something I made sure that he had. He did an internship as well as worked over at the Bayfield Marketing over by Oshkosh, so I made sure that he demonstrated that experience, saying I have a background in sales. Not only do I work at a 5-star resort, but hey, I did this awesome internship as well as job there. I made sure that he had down his business management associates as well as marketing supervisor associates from MPTC, as well as the little volunteer referee little leagues. They love seeing that. Anything that you can associate with the job application is a must because it's going to automatically catch their eyes. They're narrowing down the perfect the perfect applicant that they want to interview. So the resume is the first thing that they target at. So as for mine, I have working at Northwestern Mutual as a financial representative assistant, and then my second job, which would be as a front desk receptionist at the Kohler Water Spa. I have my education as well, where I'm currently going to school, what I will be getting my associates in, as well as certificate. The high school I went to, make sure you have them all down as in current, as I do. I have it down present and then past. Activities. If you volunteer, they love seeing that as well. So I make sure that I'm a SURE member, a National SURE member, as well as Dodge SURE member. So I make sure I have that in my activities, especially if I'm looking to apply to a human resources assistant position, that they see that I'm familiar and I'm keeping myself updated with the newest and latest legal terms that's going on. So I want to show them that I volunteered at UMOS, which is a migrant Head Start. And that's where I had gained a lot of my experiences growing up. I volunteered there for about 4 to 5 years. So I want to make sure that I have set in stone what I did there. Filing, I worked with parents, I created memos, created timesheets, faxed paperwork, organized meetings, answered phone calls, delivered mail, emails, assisted with childcare, took minutes throughout meetings, and ensured time logs were completed. So last and not least would be references. With references, depending, this is up to you. It's not required. It's optional, really. You can leave it as upon request. So you're letting them know that at any moment and any time that they want to consult with your current job employer or your past employer, that you are more than willing to turn in who to contact, the phone numbers and everything. Otherwise, if you'd love to have those on there under references, that way they don't have to ask you about that, by all means, go ahead and do it. I personally just like to keep it simple there and just say upon request. That way it doesn't take up too much space. I want to keep them focused personally on what I have to offer. And trust me, I cannot explain how much of a necessity a resume is. I mean, it's the first thing that they're going to see you as. It's an introduction to you. So when you are applying to a job, you have to make sure that you are fully satisfied with your resume, because that's the first thing they're going to look at. It's the first thing that they're going to be able to say, okay, so this is how this person is. She's very organized, or she knows she's looking for something specifically in what she's getting education towards. So that's why I highly, highly, highly recommend having a resume, ensuring that you have a career objective, skills, your experiences on there. Remember, you want to keep 2, your current and your past one. Make sure you keep it around what the job application is targeting towards. Your education, you also want to make sure that you have your current listed all the way to the past. And then activities, they love seeing that you're part of an organization or a club, or that you're volunteering. And lastly, references. You can keep it simple, or you can have your current employer and your past employer on there. That is up to you. I will be sending out a poll with everything that I have, that you can provide me with feedback, whether if I need to improve or not. I would love to hear what you have to say. Otherwise, I will also be sending you a document through email stating all the points that I've listed off this webinar, to just give you as a brief rundown. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening through. I hope you found this information useful, and have a nice evening.